My name is B-Walk and welcome back to Cop Your Coin, where I show you how to cop your coin in the fastest growing market in world history. Today I'm going to talk about the cryptocurrency market, obviously, but specifically about Cardano and where I see it fitting in and how it seems to be turning a corner here as of late. I think anybody who's been watching the last few weeks has been building, and we've seen an influx of money going into the currency. Fundamentally, why are the reasons, and technically, why are the reasons? So we're going to jump right into that, but first, I'm going to ask you to do three things. I'm going to ask you to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that alert button so that you know when fresh content is out for Copy Your Coin. All right, let's get into it. So as I always start off with the coin market cap and kind of just getting a healthy pulse of the market. As you see, our market cap currently is 140 billion, steadily climbing. Like I said, Bitcoin is still in the number one slot at 4,000 right here. It's been holding there steadily, so that's pretty good. As we go down here to Cardano, where number is in the 11th rank, but notice it's being able to hold above that 0.50. For the longest, we were at 0.48, 47, 46, down in that range. But we actually got over the nickel, and we look like we're holding there strong. We're going to look into the charts here in a moment. But volume has been strong with Cardano, and I think we know why. The percentage has actually been rallying pretty strong here the last percentage. So anybody who's been investing has already seen a return on their money. Obviously, the long-term hodlers such as myself is all in a drop in a bucket, of course. As we get to the charts, let's take a look here, and we can see right away that Cardano is, like I said, bumping its head up across that 0.53 mark, and I had spoken to that a couple of weeks ago about where I thought that it needed to go in order to hold this. This is the resistance, as you can see. We tried to get there at the beginning of the year, 2019, in January, fell back, and made another attempt here quickly in the end of February, but not quite got to that point, fell back. But as you see, the lows are becoming lower. So it's certainly a stronger trend upwards. And as we see right now, we have actually breached that area right here. But can we hold? Therein that lies a question. So looking forward, I'm expecting us to hold. Because I just think that the news coming across is too good. I think that we're going to have some great opportunities. We're going to get into that here in a second. But I expect it to hold, and as it does, I will continue to add to my position and get ready for the moves higher. As we see, this is the 200 period moving average. We're on the daily chart, so it's actually the 200-day moving average. And you see it's on a collision course with our market. I imagine we're going to meet somewhere here in the middle, but we'll see. And I think that we will get above that as well once we get to that point of resistance. But right now, first things first, as I said, we're trying to basically be above this prior resistance, which is the 0.053 level. So as we look again in the markets, and we're talking about, so why is the cryptocurrency as a whole rebounding, and then kind of specifically by Cardano? Well, as any market, as you know, that the money flows are what determine what the market's going. Okay, so money to the positive, money coming in to buy, it's going to buoy the whole market. Money leaving the market, going into sell to either lock in gains or to stop losses, that's going to have a pulling effect, a dragging down of the market. So you have that. So that's general market theory. As we look specifically to Cardano, though, there's some interesting points that have come up here in the last few weeks. So like I said, Cardano volumes double, could be added to Ledger and Coinbase. Now I know the fundamentals look fairly positive. Again, every article that I talk about will be down in the description. Don't worry about it. As we talk about this one in particular, the fundamentals look very positive. In the last 7 days, Cardano has been the second largest gainer among the top 14 digital currencies in the space. According to the data provided by CoinMarketCap, Cardano grew over 10% in just a week. This is much more than what Bitcoin, Ethereum, or XRP grew during the same period of time. But what are the reasons behind this growth? The first thing is that worth mentioning is that the fact that Cardano could be added to the Coinbase platform in the near future. Now this is actually a typo because back on July 13, 2019, it actually hasn't happened yet. 2018 is what they're referring to, when Coinbase had listed Cardano along with other tokens that have since been added. XLM is not yet been added, but ZEC, ZRX, and BAT have been. Until now, all these digital assets and many others have been already added to the platform. Thus, Cardano could be one of the next coins to be added to the exchange and trading platform. So that's one piece. The other piece that I talked about, and I've spoken about in my last videos, is that I'm really excited to know that Cardano is being added to the ledger Nano S. Now, for those of you that follow me on the regular, you already know what I feel about the ledger. I mean, that's the best, the safest way to hold your cryptocurrency currently in access point right now for anybody. And that includes any exchange or any quote unquote bank that you would want to trust your hard earned money to. Not me. I trust it to myself, me, myself, and I. I hope you do too. So the ledger Nano S is by far that capability. That's what we want. And that appears to be right around the corner. Even much so, Charles Hoskinson talks about it in this particular article. We're going to have some difficult financial times ahead. He's talking about like the traditional markets, and he's right, because right now we're at $1 trillion debts that we're doing, because it's fiat that we're basically we're dealing with $23 trillion that we continue to print money as if that can go on ad nauseum forever, and it can't. There's no such thing. Trees don't grow through the sky. No one can continue to pile on debt and think they're going to be sovereign over time. That's not going to happen. So that's talking specifically about the U.S. national debt. So we've got to change. So Hoskinson says governments and big corporations cannot solve the current financial problems. Okay, so due to this mismanagement of economic policies, Hoskinson believes we're again going to have some difficult financial times ahead. And why does he say that? So what is he looking for? What is going to be the knight in shining armor? It's going to be cryptocurrency, of course. That's what he's putting his chips in. Pun intended. He's pushing his chips into the middle, as I think the same way. It said it works this way. It works just in this way. Science, I remember when we first started publishing papers talking about the Cardano project. And now since we've published 40, more than 20 have gone through peer review at major conferences. And in just those few years, I've watched from just a few papers presented to dozens to eventually dedicated tracks to having a conversation of skepticism and, okay, good for you, please move on to, this is really interesting, I'd love to work with you, I'd love to collaborate. And that's what we believe in here with Cardano is the fact that they are doing peer reviews, that they are playing the long game. That it's not a race to see who can come up with the quickest solution, but who can come up with a robust solution, a solution that's well thought out, that is strong, that has had many eyes look upon it, as well as thought leaders within the industry. And he says at the same time, we have a legacy system that's not doing well, and we can see that, talking about the fiat, the current money system we have. These things are going to collide. The outcome of that is still a bit murky to me, because at the end of the day, we don't have to have an open, fair, and decentralized system. We can have a centralized hierarchical digital money. We can have social credit. We can have a system where an actor can shut off access to your identity, to your money, and also prevent you from traveling. Or we can have a system that's controlled by you. And this is the good point. It's just like he says in society, there's no reason why you have to have kings versus presidents versus committees. So it's a very interesting point that he brings up, that there is no de facto standard that the system has to fall to. Again, this is what we want individuals, thought leaders in Cardano to be thinking like. We want them to be thinking in the future, how can we be flexible going into the future? What is that going to look like? And again, like I can't say it again, banking the other bank, looking at doing currently in Ethiopia, several people have learned how to program in the Haskell programming language, which is used to build software programs on the Cardano platform. This is excellent. Again, I love what Cardano is trying to do. I love what they're standing for and how they're trying to tool people, give people the tools in order to work with the technology that's coming on the forefront, that is on the horizon. This is where we need to be going. So finally, it looks like we're starting to get some traction on that. That is why you see the price moving higher. In my opinion, I think it's going to continue to move higher and build from here. So I'd like to hear your thoughts tomorrow, or thoughts in the below. You let me know what you think. Question of the day: do you think Cardano continues to build? And if so, where do you think the limit is? I think that we're going to build probably throughout 2019 and going into 2020, where I imagine that a number of cryptocurrencies will have some traction at that point, that we have some projects that are hard at work. I will be outlining a couple of those here in the next few videos. But until then, I'll see you next time on Cop Your Coin.